And good afternoon or good evening, everyone. We are back on Speed Gaming 2 with more action in A Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 3. I am Cool Papa Bell 2282, and my co-commentator today is Tracy M. How are you doing today, Tracy?
I'm doing great. We got Mystery Week this week, which is really a lot of fun, especially since I think this is the week where you're going to see a lot more upsets than usual. As much fun as I had with the spoiler log, not a whole lot going on there in terms of upsets, but this week we could see some really interesting things depending on what we see in these mystery seeds.
Yeah, and just about anything can happen in this one. We could get an entrance cross keys style seed that goes on for 3 hours. We could get a 40-minute Triforce hunt. Wide range of possibilities here.
Well, one thing we can immediately see, I don't see anything indicating Randomizer, so hopefully these guys don't want to see those funny enemies. They're not giving us anything for free. You'll see some of these seeds will start out with a sword or a boots. Could be standard, could be open. We'll see. We'll see that right away. Could have some key sanity involved. Some different mixes of keys, small keys, big keys, maps, compasses. A lot of different possibilities, and we could still have entrance.
Yeah, there's also retro mode out there, various goals that we might have, Ganon versus Pedestal, all kinds of things. So we are in standard mode, and we're getting a boots hint, apparently.
Yeah, boots in the castle tower. So I think we're going to have some sort of key sanity. Yeah, there's definitely some sort of key sanity going on. As we start with a map to Hyrule Castle.
That is a really good boots hint to just immediately know that you're in key sanity of some sort.
Yeah, because the only way you have something other than keys in Castle Tower is if you have some sort of key sanity. It might just be small keys. It doesn't have to be... We definitely have a map shuffle. Apparently map and compasses are shuffled separately, which I find interesting. Small keys are definitely shuffled. We don't know if big keys will be shuffled or not, so we'll see.
And yeah, with standard seeds...
Oh.
Bow and escape.
Bow.
Nice.
And it gave him 30. So this is the old-fashioned standard style, where you get like a random weapon from your uncle. So no assured sword at all. Well, of course we knew that because we saw the entrance. The starting screen would have given them a sword if they'd had that.
And let's see here. Since we have an actual arrow counter there, we are not in retro mode.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work with this mode, because if you're given the bow, you'd have to then have given money for retro to work with this kind of standard setup. So
yeah, I don't know if standard retro is even an option in the weights.
Yeah, I don't know
have to take a look, but it's probably one of those things that they would give you assured sword or something like that to make sure you had a usable weapon for escape.
Okay, so interesting part about this is unlike when we had the casual boots week, the runners are going to want to look for a bomb to get to the sewers at the back and see what kind of prize packs we have. I haven't seen what we're getting right now. It looks like I think Teto was killing more enemies. Looks like they're kind of skipping it for now. So maybe I didn't see what the first drop was. So what you want to look for is a heart into a fairy. That'll give you an 8 bomb drop eventually, or a small magic, which will give you a single bomb drop eventually. Or just the bomb prize pack, which is the best.
Yes, we got a full magic from one of those guards in the secret passage. I have not been watching the drops enough to see if this was just the magic pack. If it was
a full magic first, then it's the magic pack. I believe it's definitely not a bomb pack either way, though. Yeah, and chat confirming that there was a full magic drop as the first drop. So no bombs in the guard. So they'll be able to check the rats and see if those have any bombs. And it looks like we have big keys shuffled too, because otherwise you wouldn't get that message about the big key being of this dungeon. Also, without a boot start like we had in week 2, we have to walk Zelda back up. And chat's suggesting this could still be entrance shuffle. It could be. We won't know until they get out of the escape sequence. And even then, apparently, we don't always know, because yesterday in one of the open races, there was a standard start into a sanctuary location, and with Lumberjack Vanilla, and then they dropped on it to Ganon.
That is quite the troll from the game there.
Yep. Okay, now to head to the back.
Yeah, both runners just a few seconds apart, not too surprising from this very scripted opening sequence.
So one more shot at getting bombs in a chest, and, you know, we'll check and see if those rats give us anything. Or maybe we won't right away. A glove? Well, at least they'll be able to go back in as soon as they get bombs, if nothing else. The worst of the entrance, worst of the standard seeds is when you have to go all the way back through. Oh, there we go. Looks like the rats are in the bomb prize back, so no issues here.
Yeah, I think that was actually our variety pack for the rats, because we saw like a 5 rupee and then a small magic. So
No.
Teto actually stopped killing them for.
I thought I saw those on the snakes, not the. Well, either way, he's got a. But Teto still needs to get himself a bomb.
Oh yes, that's right. That was the snakes. Yep, my bad.
Yeah, so the rats are. Yep, there's that bomb. And we get some magic and a small key to ice. I did not see what the first item there was, but Teto will show it to us in just a second.
Yeah, GT small.
Okay. Which we might not even need, because this could be fast cannon. And Yoshi gonna kill a few extra rats just to get some bombs for Kakariko. Well, just the one, but two is a decent start. Kind of like the way Teto did it. Save those arrows. Use the pot. And a map to Thieves Town.
And Teto will be leaving escape with 6 bombs, so plenty for everything in Kakariko.
Okay, so far no indication of entrance shuffle. We are exiting out of the normal sanctuary. And is not going to check Lumberjack, just going to go straight to the Lost Woods.
Yeah, I believe Dataplet in chat is pointing out that the title screen text is slightly different for entrance randomizer than non, so was tipped off even before we started that it was not going to be an entrance seed.
Gotcha. Teto is going to check Lumberjack for us. So the next question is going to be, what is our actual goal? Do we need to get, how many crystals do we need? Is it fast cannon? Could it be a pull the pedestal seed? All those are possibilities. Could be all dungeons. Could really troll us by making us have like very few crystals to get into Ganon, but more to get into GT if it's not fast Ganon. And depending on those crystal counts, you could actually even have crystal progression in GT. But we won't know those until we get to the Dark World. They'll want to go over to the pyramid once they get into the Dark World to check the sign there, and they'll want to go, once they get Mitts and Dark Death Mountain access, they'll want to check the sign near Ganon's Tower to find out what the crystals are for that. Piece of heart, rupees, more rupees. A key to Ganon's Tower.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but in non-entrance, the weights are a little bit skewed toward higher entries for Ganon's Tower and defeating Ganon, so they're more likely to be at the upper end of the requirements for those.
Yeah, I believe so. I can look up, see if I can look up the numbers. Yeah, it's skewed towards like 4 through 7 is definitely skewed higher for Ganon being open, with 5 actually being the highest by just a little bit. The tower open actually looks like it's pretty even. So the tower could literally be anything 0 through 7. I think it's basically to make it so you don't have a less likelihood of just being able to go straight into Ganon on a 0-0 or something like that. But it is not. It is non-zero. It could happen. You could get a 0-0.
And yes, we found some silver arrows there in the well.
Yeah, already with silvers, and yeah, as Data points out, it does mean we're on normal item pool.
iiYoshii making good use of those 300 rupees to just go ahead and buy some bombs.
Yeah, also some blue mail. Always a nice safety. Yeah, I guess we could still be swordless. That's certainly a possibility, as chat points out. Small key to desert. That opens a couple of checks for when we get in there. Get to do a sick kid check. And just a piece of heart. It's not swordless. We have a sword. All things considered. Yeah, all things considered, it's a pretty nice setting so far.
I was going to say, chat's going to be disappointed how generous this seed is to the runners.
Yeah, absolutely. And we even know where the boots are, you know? Like, there's 2 chests they could be in. You just need to find one of those castle tower keys. Actually, you don't even need to find one, necessarily, depending on which chest it's actually in. And Yoshi can just blind check the race game.
Yeah, fairly standard in key sanity, since there are all of those small and big keys that.
Yeah, there's more things you're going to go back for.
Yeah.
And we get bombs. Now, Teto with only 3 bombs, I could see picking those up, but now he's going to check it ahead of time, so he won't go back for it. But if he had blind checked it, I think he would have picked them up.
And now it looks like both of our runners are heading toward South Shore. Teto checking for another bomb under that rock outside the house.
And more bombs.
We've gotten a fair bit of information about our seed so far, but no real progression pointing us in any particular direction.
No, not really. Now, the interesting question is, once you get access to Castle Tower, do you just rush to get the boots, even if you can't finish it, and don't know for sure whether you need it or not? Or do you wait to get a better idea whether you have to do the whole thing? I mean, I tend to lean toward just get those boots, but we'll see what the runners decide.
Yeah, and it's a lot tougher decision in standard, because if this were open, you could just sort of loop it in when you did your front of escape checks, but since those are all already done, Castle Tower is really isolated at this point.
It is. Okay, let's get a look at Mini Moldorm here. Mirror. Nice. Rupees. A map to somewhere. Misery Mire. More rupees. And a small key to Hera.
Interesting. So Mirror and Glove means a little bit of Death Mountain is an option. With that Tower of Hera small key so early, our runners are probably going to want a fire source before they head up there. Especially if it's lamp, since then that would actually put all of those checks in logic.
Yeah, even though the Old Man Rescue is probably one of the easiest dark rooms and one of the first ones that you learn, it's not in logic without the lamp, because there are no torches to light if you have a fire rod.
And we've gotten early flippers out of the dam, but unfortunately, neither runner even close to Zora money at this point.
Yeah, it's always annoying when you get those flippers and Zora's completely illogic, and you just don't want to leave it behind. And unfortunately, just bombs at the Ice Rod Cave, so nothing there. We'll see if either one of them decides to do anything fancy. Maybe you just do a hobo check, or maybe just do the rest of the Zora check and hope you can conveniently route in Zora later. I mean, you could route it in with Catfish later. We have a mirror, so that is a possibility once they have Dark World access.
Yeah,
Looks like
Teto.
Yoshi's gonna go check the hobo, and Teto, maybe the same. Lake Hylia Island with a piece of heart. We're not going back for that.
Actually, having that mirror early makes me a little bit less worried about Zora. I mean, maybe this is just the seed giving the first hints toward an early swamp play.
Yeah, there's that too. But yeah, it does, and as I said, it just makes it easier if you want to route in with Catfish. You could do all 5 of those checks at the same time. Half magic and nice luxury item, but definitely not what the runners are looking for right now.
And looks like both of our runners are going to go ahead to Waterfall Cave and check the Zora ledge.
If they get a big 300 in one of those spots, they will actually be able to do Zora itself, so that would be, that occasionally happens. Or you get a fairy in a bottle and a heart container. So, we already had a bottle for sick kids, so that really doesn't do much for us. Other than potentially screw up our death warps. Although we have mirrors, so that doesn't matter either.
I guess the upside here of clearing this out is that you pretty much know that the only thing you have left to do is Saha and the Eastern Palace dip. So, that decision of should I dip Eastern or not is pretty much made for you based on whether you find any progression in Saha's closet.
And indeed, Yoshi heading over to Eastern. The only other real choice is to head up to the mountain, and like you said, without a fire source to do the basement of Hera, and without a way to get up Hera because we don't have the big key, and no hook shot to break it, there's not a whole lot you can do up there, and none of it would be in logic. So you're probably better off just staying within the logic here.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've said to myself, it's probably just the lamp, I'll skip it, and then, the flute is here in Eastern Palace or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do see a Desert Palace big key. So we got all our keys to Desert. And a Moon Pearl. So that's 2/3 of our Dark World access.
So Fire Source would also put us close to being able to full clear that green pendant as soon as we find a way in.
And I expect we'll actually so if we do have the bow, I expect the runners to go ahead and full clear Eastern. Of course, we don't know whether it's a pendant or a crystal, and we don't know whether we want pendants or crystals, so.
But we are big key sanity, so we don't have that.
We don't have the big key
yet.
Yeah, that's a problem. If they find it here, which they probably won't, then they would full clear it. Or they could find mitts.
All right, so there is our Dark World access with that pearl outside.
And that does give us the full Dark World access for the most part. Obviously, we can't get to the Mire area yet. However, getting to the east side of the Dark World still going to be a pain with just the myths. But the flippers get us over there.
Yeah, and we might see someone save and quit here after the second chest in Eastern. But the more standard play would just be to go ahead and go to the big key chest, clear out as much as you can from here. But it is an option, definitely, to sort of leave that for when you come back with the big key.
It's definitely a play I've seen. Not even just in Key Sanity, but just in general. If you get that progression item right away, rather than full clearing the dungeon now, knowing you probably can't finish it. Usually in that case, if it's not Key Sanities because they don't have a bow, then you're just leaving. It's not unusual. But it looks like they're both going to continue on. And so far, not getting a whole lot for it. Those bombs. At this point, we're pretty good on bombs.
So,
Only
yeah,
one more chest we can do, and of course, it's not in logic, but not surprised you do it anyway.
I was about to say, once our runners have the go ahead and finish this dungeon and head into the Dark World with those mitts, they will have some options for where to go next. They could go ahead and sequence break the mountain to get a look at the GT entrance if they want to. I feel like that would be a little bit frustrating.
Not without a hammer or a hook shot. They can't.
Oh, right. No way to get across to the eastern part. Never mind. Screw that.
They find one of those things. I think that would be the play. But
yeah, especially with hook shot, so they could check hook shot cave and everything.
Oh, a Thieves Town big key. So they'll be able to do Thieves Town. They won't be able to full clear it. No small key and no hammer. So they almost certainly be leaving an item behind in the big chest. So they may not want to risk that.
Yeah, and then the other options are a Dark World loop of some sort, right? They're going to be heading in at the Skull Woods portal, but then they can either head south and do sort of the normal loop, or if they really, really want to see that goal and head over to the eastern part of Dark World, maybe dip pod, they could head straight across the north side. But I feel like the standard Dark World loop and then swimming around is going to get them to the goal pretty quickly as well, so that's probably what they're both going to opt for.
Oh, and interesting. Looks like Yoshi's going to do that lumberjack check. And then he's doing it before. Well, no, he knows he gets the boots if he goes there. Oh, just a piece of heart. Yeah, normally you'd wait till you have boots, but in this case, we know the boots are up there in the castle tower. So you're going to have them when you're done with that area. Oh, and Yoshi's going to go to Death Mountain. If nothing else, you get the save quit spot, and it really isn't that much slower to do this in the dark when you have a sword. Most runners are pretty familiar with the route here. Meanwhile, Teto in Village of Outcasts just gets a piece of heart from the chess game.
Yeah, we'll see if Yoshi opts for anything else up here on Death Mountain. I wouldn't be super surprised to see him just set up the old man save and quit spot while he was in the area checking Lumberjack, and then save and quit immediately. Ooh, and there's our lamp in Tea House.
Okay, so he just wanted the save quit spot and nothing else.
So now that Death Mountain trip is suddenly in logic.
Yep. Okay, Teto entering Thieves Town. We'll see if he decides to full clear it. Canis Samaria, nice first item. Doesn't really do anything for us right now, but definitely not something you want to have to look for later. And bombs, more bombs, more bombs.
We are now just a flute away from desert access, also being able to full clear desert with those both of those keys and the lamp.
Assuming that these... Oh, wait. In Key Sanity, it's very rare that the torch would stop you from being able to full clear desert. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't be able to get that one item. You will be able to see what it is.
Yes, you're right. I should say to beat desert, not quite full clear without those boots.
And Yoshi gets his lamp. Okay, Teto is heading to the back of Thieves Town. So yeah, we risk leaving something in the big chest. We don't risk. There will be something in the big chest. It's just whether it ends up being something important. So it's definitely something the runners will have to keep in mind. But it looks like they're both doing it. We'll see if Yoshi also continues to the back of Thieves Town.
Yes, we do still have the possibility, as chat points out, that compasses are not shuffled, which that would be pretty tremendous if it were. There's
they're
the compass.
not. Because there's a compass right there.
I was about
All
to say,
that really does is it doesn't. We don't get the little. So he has now the compass to Thieves Town. We don't get to see the display of how many items he's picked up.
But that does 100% guarantee that there will be something in the Thieves Town big chest that we're going to leave behind on this trip.
Had the compass been in the big chest, we would never know. We wouldn't be able to tell based on that until we saw another compass picked up.
Which would have been delightful to leave that just hanging for a while.
Yeah, would have.
The attic chest ending the suspense.
Okay, so answer the question, chat, about the settings. We have not found out. We don't know all the settings yet. We do know that it's a big key, small key, and map shuffle. It was a standard start, and we don't know what the crystal. We don't know what the goals are yet. That's the big mystery, so to speak, right now.
But I suspect we will get there pretty soon, as our runners are probably just going to do everything in the South Dark World loop and then swim around to check the pyramid.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable thing for them to do. And with that lamp and bow, they can even clear most of Pod after they go to the pyramid if they want to. Obviously, they can't get to Helmasaur, but they can do everything else. Minus, key requirements. Never mind. We don't have any pods. Well, we have one pod small key. So we can do a little bit of pod.
So Teto on the blind scripted fight here. Through first two phases with no problem. And pretty much perfect through phase 3. Nicely done.
Oh yeah, and of course one other thing, we did get a boots hint from the uncle, so we know the boots are in Castle Tower, and we haven't found. Still don't have access there yet. We need a Master Sword and possibly a small key, a Master Sword or a cape, and possibly a small key, depending on which chest the boots are actually in. As to whether, I don't think Ambrosia's in the settings, especially since Ambrosia would usually start with a boots hint and a sword at the beginning. So it's just a matter of, can you have a hint there? I think that's the toggle there. Okay, let's see where Teto heads next.
At any rate, I don't really know what Ambrosia Key Sanity would do, since
I know, right?
bosses are pretty much guaranteed to have items anyway, unless they are the compass.
Okay, so we're headed towards the dig game. While Yoshi into his blind fight. And just 50 rupees. That gets him to Zora money, so he'll have that when he assuming he doesn't use his money on Pod first, but he should be pretty okay for money at this point.
Yeah, that would definitely be a nice loop there to go ahead and all the way up to Catfish, and then mirror to Zora just to get that isolated check finished off.
And we failed to point out it is a crystal at Thieves Town. Meanwhile, Cheeto's going to go ahead and start the Smith Chain. And we'll probably might even drag the purple chest. Without the boots, you might as well just grab that purple chest. No boots, but having the mirror. And where you're not going to run into them, so you're not going to lose time walking with it instead of running.
We are seeing here, though, that these runners are going to be isolating hammer pegs. Yep. Sort of the play to make, since you get so many other checks along the way with the Smith Chain, but that's a very last locationable. You might leave that and going back for the Thieves Town big chest till almost the very end of the seed.
Yeah, you have 3 items in that area. You also have the magic bat that might come up later. And maybe if you get the powder, you could route the 3 of them in together. But yeah, basically isolating those things right now. Yoshi picking up his 50 rupees. One nice thing is they do get that sword or that cape. They can mirror straight from the pyramid to go into Castle Tower to get the boots. They're not going to need to finish that. They just need one small key and possibly not. Like I said, they might not even need one small key. They just need access. So another sword, cape, small key, possibly. But yeah, it looks like Yoshi doing the same thing. So yeah.
And with silver arrows, that first room of Castle Tower will be very, very fast. So that would be a pretty quick trip in to check for those boots.
Definitely not hurting on bottles, this seed, though.
This has been a pretty linear seed so far. Seed just sort of telling the runners, hey, I think you should go here. And the runners saying, yep, yeah, sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah, the only route divergence is that Yoshi decided to get the save quit spot over in at Death Mountain. That's what has him a little bit behind Teto. But not technically behind, because of course Teto will eventually do that as well. And we'll get an Agina check over on Tito's side. Unfortunately, I was really hoping he'd continue that loop we were talking about. But I guess he still could walk back. The portal's still there.
Yeah, he did save that portal in the right by Gary. Can also check the item on the desert ledge, although we still can't reach it.
No, looks like he's just going to head back to that portal. That's a bit of routing I've not seen before. I kind of like it. And now we'll probably get the Hype Cave check. Oh, we're gonna go into Swamp.
Checking just the first chest of Swamp here is all we can do without that small key.
And even if we had the small key, we could only go one further without a hammer. And Yoshi also going to check Swamp. Not going to do the Agina check.
Yeah, both of our runners being pretty thorough here.
Mm-hmm.
This might be sort of a defensive play to some extent.
Yeah, maybe.
You just need to make sure that there's nothing here that your opponent Galaxy brains.
Okay, just a Quake. Which we might or might not need. A to be determined. Would be interesting though if the Swamp small key, if Swamp was required and the small key was behind that Quake medallion.
That might cheer Chad up a little bit.
Or hammer behind it, that Quake, although that's less likely because that would only be the case if it was in Misery Mire, because of course the hammer can't be in Turtle Rock. Well, big key to Swamp Palace.
If they find the Swamp small in Hype Cave.
Yeah. Oh, there's your hammer. Yeah, if that had been a small key to Swamp and the hammer, that would have been pretty funny. Okay, looks like Tito's going to go talk to the bomb shop. That'll tell us what our 5-6 crystals are. Thieves and Eastern. Oh, so we actually almost have access to that. All we need is the Eastern big key. We could actually get the big bomb. Having already finished Thieves Town.
And we will once again see both of our runners heading in the same direction. Going to go up and check the sign on the pyramid, which will actually tell us our goal for the seed. We can also see, assuming that it is a Ganon seed of some sort, whether it is fast Ganon or regular defeat Ganon, based on the hole in the pyramid. Yeah,
we'll see if either one of them heads up to the mountain. I think now that we have Mirror and Hammer, we can actually check most of the mountain and find out what the Ganon's Tower goal is. Oh, it's fast Ganon. Oh, 7 crystals, fast Ganon, but we don't know how many crystals it'll take to go into GT. So if that GT is anything less than 7, there could be progression inside GT. And with 2 early Ganon's Tower small keys, I wonder if that's going to be the case.
And looks like both of our runners are now headed up toward the Catfish and then Mirror to Zora play. Not too surprising. Catfish is just a terrible check. There's never a good time to do it. There are just less bad times to do it.
Yeah, Yoshi still needs 20 rupees, though, to be able to do this. Teto, having picked up a few more big 3 hundos, I think, will have no issues. There's that 20 rupees that Yoshi needs and Teto doesn't.
This is a very convenient 20 coming from the Catfish there.
It really is. And Yoshi wisely picks up the 20 rupees.
It's probably the only time Yoshi has been happy to see a 20 in that spot.
But one thing's for sure, Yoshi will not be going into pod after this because he'll have 1 rupee to do it. That's not going to work.
Yeah, I got to think Death Mountain is the appealing play right now. With that hammer, they can get across the Paradox Cave now and check the GT entrance, which is really good information to have.
And they can do 3. They can do 3 checks in Hera without the big key or the hook shot. But yeah, unfortunately, Zora was just a piece of heart, so not much there.
And this is where Yoshi gets to cash in that time that he invested earlier, since he has the old man save and quit point already.
And we did not see Spectral Rock. Earlier when Yoshi did this, he did only grab that save quit spot. He didn't actually do anything else. So these are going to be new checks for us. Bombs on Spectral Rock. We don't care about that. And a small key. So probably going to want to grab that. We'll see if he grabs it now or after checking out Hera. No, he's going to grab it now. Now let's see what it is a small key to. Pod. So that's probably an important one. Does the nice bomb jump across?
Yeah, with Hammer and Bow, you really want 4 pod small keys to be able to clear everything fairly efficiently.
Yeah, logically you need all 6. With a hammer jump and not opening the front door going down the right side, you can cut it down to 4 and still full clear it.
You can also, of course, sacrifice some speed to leave behind a chest or 2.
Yep. Big key to Turtle Rock. Okay. We might need that. If Turtle Rock is a crystal, we will need that. It's weird to see compasses not shuffled and everything else shuffled.
Mystery usually gives you something a little bit out of the ordinary. Compasses not being shuffled, though, is just weird and not especially relevant for the seed.
No, it really isn't. And Tito's going to follow Yoshi into Hera, probably going to do the same checks.
Yeah, this would be one of those checks that I would always be complaining about, right? I don't know if our runners would feel the same way, but it's just like, I don't want to do Hera Basement, but you sort of have to.
Yeah, it's hard to leave this behind at this point. I mean, there's so much on the mountain, but you just don't know where it's going to be. And being that given that it's, you know, everything shuffled but compasses, it's much more likely to be an item.
Yeah, and given how early we got that small key.
Yep. For 20 rupees. But they're both doing it, so they're even. See how Yoshi decides to route this. Sees a map on the floating island, which he will be able to pick up. Is just going to go ahead and head into the Dark World here.
Yeah, can maybe even open up Turtle Rock if it's the Quake Medallion.
It is. And he could even go in. Can't do very much. I think he only can check one item. No fire rod to get to the right side. No small keys to go back.
Yeah, we've already seen our runners, though, take that sort of time-expensive trip for one chest in Swamp Palace. And yeah, Yoshi's going to show us this first chest in Turtle Rock as well.
Yeah, actually, I kind of like this. This one chest is kind of slightly off the path of the general way through Turtle Rock in a Key Sandy situation. So you can check it, mirror right on out. You're going to get blocked, but it could be something good.
And especially since both of our runners sort of made the slight gamble of checking that first chest in Swamp, you want to follow up on it and see what that Quake Medallion can give you.
Meanwhile, Teto taking a different route through Death Mountain, so finally get a little divergence. Going to do Spiral Cave first. I do suspect that at the end of Death Mountain, they will both hit all these different locations. With the mirror, there are lots of different ways to route it, so I expect to see both of them hit all of it. And a map to Swamp. More rupees. And a mushroom. Yay, mushroom. Okay, that was Super Bunny. Of course, we can't do Hookshot Cave. No boots, no hookshot.
Teto did show us a quick map check there, and we got regular crystals at Mire and Swamp.
Okay, we'll get the Paradox Cave from Teto, while Yoshi does Spiral Cave.
And so, yeah, both of our runners going to go down Spiral Cave and then back up through Paradox. Just Yoshi decided to go into the Dark World first, whereas Teto was going to do that after Paradox, I presume.
Shovel. More fetch quests. Big key 2, Ganon's Tower. Bombs. And finally, we get a second sword.
Means that Aga Tower play is technically on the table.
Yeah, it's a tough one, though. If it's the first chest, you're not getting anything out of it. I mean, I should say, the first chest, if it's not the boots, there could be something in both chests. Ideally, you'd want to go in there with a Castle Tower key, so you can check both of them. You definitely won't have to finish it.
So question in chat about Yoshi checking GT. I think Yoshi could just bomb jump across because he's still got his portal on top of the mountain, so he could just end his Death Mountain trip checking the Ganon's Tower entry.
Yeah, I think that's how you end this at this point. I mean, they can certainly go back in whichever way they want. I mean, they have all the Dark World access they need except Mire. Because no flute. And as chat pointed out, yeah, if it's 7 crystals, then you just don't have to worry about GT. If it's any other number, then it's going to weigh in the back of your mind. Do I need to do this?
Yeah, if it's a low crystal entry, there's just any number of things that could be in there. Required big keys, maybe an item like Ice Rod or something.
Yep. And it could be even on the climb now that we have a big key. Yeah, there we go. Yoshi can just walk right into his portal. Probably going to go check the sign again in his tower and maybe finish this up with... oh, maybe not finish. I was going to say finish up with Spike Cape. We don't have... I don't know if he has a potion to do it with. And it's not in logic without a cape or a cane.
Yeah, I think we have a green potion and a fairy, so...
6 crystals.
Oh
Honestly, that's a number. I mean, by the time they get to 6 crystals, they might have everything. But if they don't have everything at 6 crystals, I think GT ends up being your play.
Yeah, I mean, 27 items in there total, so...
Yep. I'd rather either be a really low number, which then tells me that there's almost certainly something in there, or 7, and then I just don't have to worry about it. But 6? Yeah, not a fan of 6.
Yeah. 100% agree on that one.
Okay, Yoshi's going to turn that mushroom in. He could choose to reset if it's nothing, and do the fake powder.
Yeah, we do have that hammer and cane now, so we're fully set up for that. Could go back and loop that in with hammer pegs, as we talked about.
But it's a small key to Totoroki. Yeah, we're not giving that up.
Yeah, you always need at least 3 of those to get to Trinex. Well, in non-inverted modes.
Yeah, you need all 4 if you have to do the lava chest for anything. But yeah, one of the more stringent, more strict key requirements. And it looks like we're going to see the shovel on Teto's side. It looks like both heading to the shovel now. No, wait, never mind. Teto's headed towards the back to Kakariko.
Yeah, he might be doing hammer pegs into fake powder right away, and then do the mushroom turn-in after that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to do those together. Or it could be going to Skullwoods.
Yeah, we did find that Skullwoods big key, I think, in Cave 45, so also a good number of items back here.
Now, let's see. We don't have a Skullwoods small, which means if we want to do the checks, we can still do all the checks, but when you do the ones that are behind the small key in the front, you'll have to drop down and probably won't be able to get out. The pinball room, no longer a guaranteed small key.
Yeah,
I believe in entrance it is, but not in just key sanity.
Yeah, we can grab this key under the pot in the back. Ooh, fire rod.
Oh, we can do Skullwoods now. I think that might have changed Tito's plans here.
Yeah, I was about to say that you sort of have the choice of spending the small key, but then you to get out of Skullwoods, but then you have to find one later. But with that fire rod right there, we are using that small key to beat Mothula. Absolutely. No doubt.
And neither runner choosing to try and find those boots in Castle Tower. I don't blame them because it's 50-50 shot that they'll be able to get it without the Castle Tower small key.
So finally, some divergence. Yoshi going back for hammer pegs. But he does not have the fake powder option anymore since that mushroom item was pretty essential.
Oh, but a nice tempered sword. Not going to turn that down.
Some very NMG item placements here. Just get the tempered sword down in the village and then grab our fire rod out of Skullwoods.
Okay, it looks like Yoshi also gonna head over to Skullwoods now. So he'll be happy to see that fire rod as well. The nice thing about this is you could go ahead and drop down for the front area and just end there and just go ahead and save and quit out of there without too much penalty. And a small shield. And unfortunately, it's a pendant. So we now know 2 of our 3 pendants. Looks like Yoshi's going to go ahead and take the bait for the pendant as well.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone not making this play at this
No,
point.
absolutely
when you can
not.
finish a boss. Yeah.
And especially in Yoshi's case, having that tempered sword just makes the moth fight pretty easy.
Yeah, we will see now. Teto might go ahead and make that play that you mentioned of grabbing everything from Skull Woods and then just saving and quitting out. But that is going to wind up costing him an opportunity to grab that tempered right now.
Yeah, we'd have to do that on a different trip. Does get a cape, though. But now that we have a Master Sword, that cape doesn't really do anything for us. It looks like he was about to go through the door, like, oh wait, I don't have a key. So let's see, he's gonna... Nope, he's just not gonna do it. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit better play for Yoshi having done the hammer pegs. And that check of Skull Woods will be there later for Teto if he wants it.
Yeah, that cape, though, will send us over to Bumper Ledge real fast. Just a map.
Yeah, I don't blame Teto for not wanting to go out of his way to pick up that map. It could be a map to something we already know. It's a bit of a time investment to go pick that up.
Yeah, and at this point, it's likely to not give him any information, since we know 2 of the 3 pendants, we know where the red crystals are. So it probably doesn't tell him anything.
We are going to get Graveyard Ledge, though. And we have not seen the compass to Skull Woods. To answer chat's question. Okay, so Yoshi gonna pick up his cape. We'll see if he drops down. And Teto is heading towards maybe back to Hammer Pegs?
Headed
Which
north.
Would be happy.
Yeah, nope, headed back into Skull Woods, I think.
He's gonna do the drop down. And they're gonna hit the drop down almost at the same time. Both routing it the same way. Gonna do this pot prison item first and get the compass.
Some very nice sync from our runners there.
Get a big key to ice, which probably isn't necessary. It is logically required, though. And bombs. So, pending the Ice Palace big chest, nothing there in the drop down of Skullwoods.
But as we saw there, Yoshi's decision to do hammer pegs before heading north was a really big one, since it gives him tempered sword and a definite edge, I think, for the rest of this race.
For sure. Oh, is this going to be an Ice Palace play? It sure looks that way. It's like they have one small key to ice, and they have everything. So they basically have everything they need to full clear this. They will have to be a little bit creative. They might have to be a little bit more creative with the keys, although usually, like there's a couple of locked doors that you can pretty much ignore that are behind the big key door.
And with Kane, I believe Ice Palace is logically full clearable with the one small key, right? Because in a non-key Sanity Seed, there could theoretically be that second small key on Cold Stare himself. So our runners are pretty much in that situation.
Yep.
So
that's right.
Everything in logic here.
Oh, we don't have a hook shot though. But I think
that is true.
But I don't think that matters because in Key Sandy because we have the big key. No, wait. Yeah, this is where the hook shot logic gets you just a little bit, because they can with the big key, they can open all the small key doors, which means they can use the small keys in a bad way and potentially lock themselves out.
Right. So it is. You're right. It's not all in logic, but it is definitely all clearable.
For sure. Yeah, there's no such thing. There's logical hookshot lock, but there's no such thing as an actual hard hookshot lock. There's plenty of ways to get around that, especially now that we have Icebreaker. But it is interesting that neither one of them is, at this point, is taking that gamble of seeing if those boots are in that first castle tower chest.
Yeah, it seems like they're really holding out for the one small key to just guarantee that when they go to Castle Tower, they do get the boots.
I think at this point, I mean, I would try to hold off for a while, but at some point, we haven't even seen a pyramid check. It just feels like those two things could be routed in together pretty nicely. A map for Turtle Rock, so being able to know whether Turtle Rock's a pendant or a crystal will be nice. Ideally, what you want in a map is to find the map to whatever the last pendant dungeon is, because that'll give you the rest of your information.
I think we might also see Aga Tower if we find the Eastern Palace Big Key and get our second red crystal, because then our runners might be more tempted to loop in that Aga Tower check with the big bomb turn in.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Small key to Skullwoods. Hey, now you don't need to drop down.
Game is just taunting us at this point.
It does. The game likes to do that. One thing, so Yoshi can have the advantage of the temper sword on Cold Stare. It's definitely one of the bosses where having a better sword helps a lot.
Yeah, with the half magic, Teto might be able to sort of get the puffs stuck in the upper left corner and do a bunch of splash damage. So that will definitely help.
And a shield in the big chest. Without the hookshot, we have to do this the normal way by opening the floor with the bomb. It's amazing how quickly we can do Ice Palace now that we have Icebreaker, though, as Yoshi about to finish it up. Yeah, very nice Cold Stare fight from Yoshi. Mostly kept the puffs in the corners, just one last fire rod shot to get to the bomb, and we have nothing in Ice Palace. Except a crystal, so that is something. And since we need 7 of them, we do need to do it.
Puff's getting away from Teto there. It might be worth using that green potion to just go ahead and fire rod the rest of the way through this fight.
Yeah, definitely. He has a red one too that he could use if he feels like he's in danger. Okay, he makes it through.
Yeah, that was a very Monka-esque moment there with those 2 puffs coming toward Teto, but gets through the fight.
Are we getting a pod play from Yoshi? We got two pod small keys now.
Yeah, not great at that number of keys, but I don't really know what other options our runners have at this point. I mean, we can't get any further in Swamp, can't get into Desert or Mire. We've cleared out what we can on Death Mountain, so pod seems to be it.
We have 2 checks in Turtle Rock. Now that we have the fire rod. That's not true. We can actually have a small key there too, so we can actually go into Turtle Rock a bit of a ways. I don't blame them for choosing pod over that though. I mean, if they'd had this big key small key loadout when they were up there plus the fire rod, then yeah, you just go in and do as much as you can. But if you have to climb the mountain to do it, yeah, I could see doing pod instead.
Yeah, especially for Teto, who has not turned in the mushroom yet to grab that. Wait,
Oh, we
I'm
see
confused
Turtle
about.
we see Turtle Rock is actually a pendant, so we now know all our crystals and pendants.
Yeah, sorry, I got confused about the Turtle Rock small keys there because I thought that Yoshi got the second one off of the mushroom and Teto hasn't.
I think was that Turtle Rock or a pod small? No, it was Turtle Rock.
But yeah, in any case, both of our runners are checking out pod right now.
And Yoshi is going to go ahead and burn that key to get in to the main entrance area. We'll see if Teto does the same. I don't think Yoshi checked his map, though. I don't think he knows for sure that this is a crystal.
Okay, I think I see what I was doing now. I was looking at the 2 GT smalls that Teto has and thinking that those were Turtle Rock, so I just confused myself.
Well, they're right in the same spot.
But book there in the basement, so now we have that desert access.
Okay, now that we have an idea of what crystals we have to clear, we can kind of get a better idea of what they need for go mode. So they're going to need a pod big key and probably more pod smalls. They're going to need the hook shot or a Hera big key. They're going to need a hook shot for swamp anyway, though. Need an Eastern big key and a Meyer big key and flute. So we're still a ways away here. And there's that looming 6 crystal entrance to GT. In a fast Ganon seed.
Yeah, so you're really hoping for something like hookshot go mode that gives you access to Swamp and Hera at the same time, so you don't have to think about if you go in at your 6th crystal. Oh wait, Hera's a pendant. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, yeah, they need a hookshot or boots for Meyer, so there you go. They still haven't gone and looked for those boots. I almost wonder, that hint at the beginning. I hope they A, saw it, and B, remember it.
But yeah, there is always the possibility of something miserable like boots to get you into Meyer, to get you into GT, to get the hookshot for Swamp. Oh, there's an ice rod.
Yeah, now that we know we don't need it, or shouldn't need it. I shouldn't say we don't need it because Ped's not out of the question. Not to mention just something sitting there on Trinex. And Yoshi gonna save a small key by doing a hammer jump here. Unfortunately, can't open the big chest.
Pause buffer the video game.
Yep, and Teto doing the same. Well, red mail's a nice safety. Not what they're looking for. And a heart container. So that's all we're gonna do in pod for now.
Okay. So worth noting that Teto did not open the front door, the front key door of pod yet, just went around the right side. So he could potentially save that small key by doing the right side again. And looks like that's what his plan is.
Yeah, in this situation, I kind of like this. I mean, it may be, when you get to go mode, you don't want to have to be searching for a pod small key if you can avoid it. Let's see, Yoshi maybe headed towards desert. Now that he's got that book.
Got a tablet along the way, and he has not seen a Gina's cave yet either, so this play has a bit more value for him.
Yep. A small key to Thieves Town. That's not what you want to see. Oh yeah, that's another one we need. We need a small key to swamp. As I ran down our wish list for go mode. You do still need that swamp small key.
That Thieves Town Small is a slightly less annoying fetch quest than the Ice Rod at this point.
Yeah. We'll be able to see everything in desert. We won't be able to get the item on the torch.
So yeah, Teto is really betting that the other pod small keys are very inaccessible, since he's placing a lot of value on saving this one.
Yeah, will lose a little bit of time on the short end, but if that pod key, if the last pod key is hard to find, or if they need multiple pod keys and some of them are hard to find, then he'll gain that time back. Those compasses are so trolly in this seed. There's another pod small key. Looks like Teto may be also heading into desert. I'm going to check the Bombos tablet on the way.
That's definitely a good comfort small key for Yoshi there, knowing that he can go back and finish pod as soon as he finds that big key.
Ooh. Well, we do see a small key sitting on the torch, and we don't know what small key that is. I mean, it could be another Skullwood small key, which at this point we completely don't care about, or it could be the Swamp small key, which we completely do care about, or something in between, an extra pod small.
Now I'm just imagining that the Castle Tower small keys are on both torches. The boots are in the first chest, and neither of our runners are ever going to get them because they're not going to go there without a Castle Tower key.
Yep. Well, I mean, I don't know what the % chance of beatable is, but if those Castle Tower keys aren't readily available, those boots just may never get picked up. Okay, let's see what this key is. Another pod key. Okay.
That's going to feel real bad for Teto.
Mm-hmm. As he picks up another pod small. So Yoshi can have his choices of ways to kill Lanmo. The fastest way is typically being using the fire rod or the silvers. We'll see which one he opts to use. Looks like he's going to go for the silvers kill. Very nice. And we get a map. At this point, we don't care about maps, especially maps to Ganon's Tower.
So that's crystal number 3, but that book not really leading to any progression in the desert.
Nope. I mean, it could still be something on Ether Tablet, but yeah, the book didn't give us anything but a crystal. Now, to be fair, good that we get that crystal, but as it turns out, we could have waited for the flute, which has to show up so we can get to Misery Mire.
But yeah, the next play might be Ether Tablet into that potential Turtle Rock dip.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad choice. And in fact, I think that's where he's headed.
Teto might wind up doing something different here, because as we saw before, he's still got that hammer pegs to check.
Yep.
Still the fake powder and the regular mushroom turn in as an option. If he does that mushroom first, that might make him move toward Turtle Rock once he gets that Turtle Rock small key.
Slightly different Landmo setup, but still equally effective as we finish off Desert on Tito's side. Okay, one last chance for the book to be useful. Nope. I mean, to be fair, you know, if there's something behind one of those keys we got that leads to access to Mire, it is possible that we actually needed the book to get into Desert.
Yeah, it could also be something like, you know, those boots might still be accessible in Castle Tower right now, and that's just the Swamp small key on that torch.
Yeah, could be. They just don't want to go there without that Castle Tower small key, and it's looking more and more like I feel like the longer you don't see the Castle Tower small key, the more likely it is that those boots would be in the first chest, not the second. Teto also going to check the ether tablet. Well, if he follows it over to Turtle Rock, he can't get very far without any small keys, but he can do the first 3 checks. I don't believe he didn't do the first check earlier that Yoshi did. So for him, it'd be 3 checks.
Yeah, question in chat. TR is very much not clearable. Yoshi's going to be able to get these 2 checks on the right side, and then the 1 chest at Chain Chomps, but that is it.
And bottle number 4, but we do see a flute, so TR required, at least for that much.
And that was definitely a logical extra trip up the mountain, because we found the mushroom in Super Bunny, I think.
Yeah.
And then you had to go turn that in for the... oh, and I guess you didn't need the small key for this, but we did need the fire rod out of Skullwoods.
Yes.
So if you had done Skullwoods early, we could have had this flute a little bit ago.
Now, interestingly enough, if there's something in Chain Chomps, then advantage Yoshi. But if there isn't, then advantage Teto, because he'll be less incentivized to come back here for just 1 more check. Should he pick up that small key later? Oh, we see powder. Okay. So that's kind of interesting, because Teto can still fake powder and Yoshi can't. So that worked out pretty well. So the mushroom led to the powder. I guess that's kind of French vanilla.
I guess, but very French vanilla, I guess. Is worth pointing out, though, that book is now completely useless, since that flute was accessible.
Yes.
That we could have gotten into Desert Palace that way.
I kind of want to see Yoshi check that powder right away. I want to see what's there. As chat points out, 3 fetch quests on the mountain, because we found the shovel up there as well.
And I really want Teto to do hammer pegs and the fake powder while he's here, but I mean, the flute opens up Mire Shed basically at this point, but we can't get any further into Mire without boots or hookshot.
Right. And we can check checkerboard. Okay, here's the magic bat check. And it's just bombs. All of that just for bombs. That makes me sad. Granted, powder is a nice luxury item, but, you know, a couple of the biggest spots you would use powder in Turtle Rock and in GT, again, probably not going to be used here, because we hope to not clear those.
Yeah, those safeties are really for the GT climb, which our runners are really hoping to avoid.
Okay, we are going to at least do Mire Shed, Checkerboard, and find out that we need ether. And we don't have ether. So, game, thanks. More stuff we don't have. And more money. And arrows. Not even, well, I guess it could still be in Checkerboard, but so far not key under the doormat. Not that we could go very far.
Yeah, and I mean, it may not feel like it to him, but I feel like this actually works out pretty well for Yoshi, because he has almost nothing left to do, so if he just goes to the thing he has to do, that has to be the right spot.
Right. It is not that. Okay, finally gonna get that mushroom turn-in from Teto. I don't believe he did fake powder though, so we'll see if he gets baited back to Turtle Rock. Buys a couple of blue potions.
He did do the fake powder.
Oh, he did do the fake. Okay, never mind. It's fine then.
But he did not do hammer pegs with it, so he's still sitting on that master sword. And looks like we're getting Spike Cave out of Yoshi, as it might literally be the last location. I cannot think of anything else that he's got left to do except that stupid Agate Tower that our runners are refusing, absolutely refusing to do. Oh yes, thank you, chat. TT Big Chest is also an option.
Yes, it is.
Spike Cave definitely a better choice than that. But we'll see which one out of Castle Tower and Thieves Town he prefers.
That's a big key to someplace, a big key to Pod. Okay, you might just go to Pod now. Have we even seen the Pyramid Ledge?
We have seen Pyramid Ledge when they went to check the goals. So.
Okay. Oh, yeah, of course.
But that Pod Big Key, I mean, doesn't actually put anything in logic, because both the Big Chest and Helmasaur are locked behind 6 small keys.
Yeah,
again,
that's right.
Pod key logic is not the one that you follow strictly most of the time.
Right. But that is where Yoshi's going. I want to say he's got 2 pod small, so my expectation is that he would go rush Helma and then possibly save and quit in the dungeon so he can maybe save scum some of the other locations that haven't been checked. And check at least one of them, but still save that small key if it's not the answer. And Teto heading back towards Village of Outcasts, it looks like, so maybe we'll get the Hammer Pegs play, and maybe he goes and does that check of the Thieves Town Big Chest.
Yeah, this would sort of be the last time that he is back in the area.
Or he could just choose to burn one of his small keys here on the big key chest. Which is not in logic until you have all 6. Most of the far out locations need all 6 to be in logic here. And Heart Container is not what he wanted, so I believe this will strand Harmless Hellway. I don't think they've checked that one.
So question in chat about the pod key logic. Yes, it is true that you can get to the big key chest with only 3 small keys, but it's not in logic without all 6 of them, because you could use your keys in other places and then be stuck without a small key to reach that one. So
that's right. Now, anytime you're thinking about key logic in any dungeon, you always want to think about, is there a way I can use these keys in a bad way and lock myself out of something? And that'll help you figure out how the logics work in the different dungeons. Okay, and we are getting the big chest check of Thieves Town from Teto. And it's nothing. So this might lead him to Hammer Pegs. At least he'll get his Tempered Sword if he does that.
So it is starting to look like that, logically speaking, those boots have to be in the first chest of Aga Tower. Or I guess there could be something else in Aga Tower that locks some small keys.
Yeah, if it's not the boots, it's got to be something. There's got to be something there, and they just don't want to go there.
Yeah, it could be like the Swamp Small or Ether. No, Ether wouldn't get us into Mire because we can't get any further into Mire.
Right. Okay, Teto finally gets his Tempered Sword.
Oh yeah, Vanilla Castle Tower Small in the first chest would also be pretty funny.
That would work. That would be funny. Let's see what Helma has. Ah, Piece of Heart. Still 2 items left in Pod that we haven't seen. We haven't seen the big chest, and we haven't seen Heartmost Hellway. We'll see if Yoshi goes back in for big chest. Can't do the Heartmost Hellway right now. And Teto headed towards the castle, so we might be finally getting that castle tower play.
And Yoshi's going to head back and hammer jump back to the big chest.
You know, typical Key Sandy, 2 hammer jumps. Okay, now real moment of truth. We're gonna see what's going on here in this castle tower. And surprise, surprise, there are the boots. Wow. I don't blame them, either one of them, for waiting a little bit to go check it, but as we went on and on, I just felt like more and more that those boots had to be in that first chest. And Teto gonna head straight over to Misery Mire. Except, oh, we still don't have Ether, so we still can't do it. Oh, he's gonna get the small key in Desert, I think.
Yeah, the seemingly inevitable small key to swamp off the torch. Yeah, although if it were a castle tower small key at this point, it would be amazing.
Oh, that would be amazing. It looks like Yoshi gonna head towards Thieves Town. That is amazing. How do you last location boots when you basically know where they are? And it's a small key to Ganon's Tower. So, okay, that's like 3 small keys to Ganon's Tower. So get that 6 crystal and head on over there, I guess. And get that last key or last item.
So Bonk Rocks and or King's Tomb here at this point. Oh, we do also have a small key on the library.
Ah, yes, that's so long ago, too.
Yeah, and that 3rd GT small key is pretty important, actually, as the key logic goes. That with another Turtle Rock small. With just 1 GT small key, there's not a lot of GT that's in logic. Although, of course, you can do the entire climb with just the 1 small key.
Right. So, interestingly enough, someone's asking about the first chest in Swamp, which we did get, which was Quake, which was required to get the flute. So interesting that worked out that way. Okay, gonna get some boots checks here. A map we don't care about. Because we no longer care about maps, we know everything we need to know.
So King's Tomb seems to be the answer, at least at this point. As Yoshi gets the bad news about the Thieves Town big chest.
It is not the answer. Are we going to have to go further into Turtle Rock?
Wow.
That's so bad. And that is where Teto is headed.
So this was not, I don't think, a logically required Turtle Rock dip, because of course we could have had those boots forever in that second Turtle Rock small key quite a while ago. But the way our runners have chosen to route this seed. They sort of played their way into this double dip up here.
Yep, and Teto, this will only be his second trip into Turtle Rock, but if it is required, and Yoshi has to come back here too, and it looks like it is, it'll be his third dip into Turtle Rock. Triple dip pendant Turtle Rock. That does not sound fun. But Teto will get his powder.
That is true. And the odds of our runners being able to...
we got one check here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. We can bonk in Hookshot Cave. Was not thinking about that either.
Let's see if Teto... I don't know if either one of these runners are hoverers. We'll see if either one of them goes for that. And Yoshi finally giving into the inevitable is going to go pick up his boots. Oh, another key to pod. That's actually really good for Teto, though. He'll be able to basically finish off pod in one go when he goes back there. And Yoshi finds his boots at last.
Question about Teto and the pod big key. Where was that pod big key? Was that like checkerboard?
I don't remember.
Oh, Spike Cave.
Spike Cave, yeah, okay. Right,
yeah, so
Teto doesn't have that yet.
Yeah, but that'll probably be on his way out of Turtle Rock here.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Although if you find something really juicy in Turtle Rock, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
the Eastern Big Key or something that lets him, or, you know, the Hookshot or the Swamp Small.
Yeah, that's true. Could get distracted from it. Although Hookshot by itself would just give him Hookshot Cave. And then Hookshot Cave could then open things up. He is going to do the lava chest. Instead of stealing the key. In a pendant situation, that's a tough one. Oh, there's the other castle tower small. Or there's the first castle tower small, so now we have another chest up there in logic.
Yeah, so Teto is giving up the opportunity to do Laser Bridge. Potentially with that, using that key to open the lava chest.
Yeah, I think I would have rather seen him use it to get to the back. Just because there's 4 items on Laser Bridge as opposed to 1 item in the lava chest.
Yeah, and
on the
once
other hand, that castle tower key might be important.
Yeah, that's true. It definitely might be, since that opens up the second chest in there. But just like in Pod, neither one of those is in logic without all the keys, because the game doesn't know which one you're going to spend your key on.
So to answer the question about which key he didn't use, so Teto only has 2. I'm going to see what's in Mimic Cave, which is another pod key. Okay, we got all the pod keys now. This Turtle Rock has definitely been an interesting one. Another map we don't care about. He'll be able to get 1 more chest here. Looks like Yoshi also going to head back to Turtle Rock. And just a piece of heart. So that'll end Tito's foray into Turtle Rock for this time.
Yeah, and as JP pointed out in chat, this trip to Mimic Cave means that his mirror out of the dungeon does not put him in a good position to go to Spike Cave. So he may or may not actually do that while he's up here.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to follow that second castle tower key. In fact, I think that's exactly what he's going to do. The good news is, getting back to Spike Cave isn't that hard with the flute. Or a save quit, either one.
Yeah, Spike Cave can sometimes be a trap because, you know, if you're on the eastern part of Death Mountain, you're actually not that close to it. You're sort of always close to it when you have the flute. So.
Yep.
And so, yeah, now Yoshi going in with 3 Turtle Rock small keys can clear everything but Lava Chest if he chooses to.
He basically has a choice between finishing the dungeon or doing Lava Chest. And it's just a boomerang. So it looks like going all the way down to Laser Bridge would have been the better choice. Unfortunate there for Teto. Which means me might end up with another dip into TR once he gets that last pod small key, or gets that pod big key. I think he's just going to go back into pod and clear it out, which is unfortunate because he's not going to find the big key there.
Yeah, without the big key, this is really unfortunate. But he really needs something to be on Harmless Hellway because that's the only thing that Yoshi has not done in pod. So a question in chat about whether seeds are always beatable. They definitely are. The question that was in chat before is about a setting called beatable only, which means the game gives you just enough stuff to finish the seed, but you might not necessarily be able to collect every single item in the game.
Right. Yeah, an example of beatable would be like boots on the Desert Torch.
And so then the game would be set up so you could definitely beat it. But most seeds that people run are 100% inventory or 100% locations, so that you can pretty much collect all the items for sure. As we see Yoshi also opening the lava chest, so will not be defeating Trinex right now.
Yeah, for Yoshi having that extra TR small, I think that makes a lot of sense rather than going all the way to Trinex. It's definitely an extra time investment. Unfortunately for him, he may end up following that castle tower key to that boomerang. And, you know, boomerangs are nice, but, I mean, they have a blue one already. They don't really need a red one. Okay, let's see what's in this Harmless Hellway. Nothing.
So does that mean Laser Bridge is the answer?
It would seem. I'm trying to think that extra TR small key, was that on Helmosaur?
I think it was in the pod big chest.
Okay, pod big chest. So either way, it's in pod.
Yeah.
And Teto won't be able to get it until he gets his pod big key. But he's running out of spots too, so he's going to have to check both those locations, I suspect. Well, obviously he's going to kill Helmosaur.
But once again, this is going to feel real bad that he just went back into pod and now finds the big key.
And if it is Laser Bridge, we are going to get a double, triple dip pendant TR. And Teto going to go into pod for his third trip. We're still missing so much. We're still missing that swamp small. We're still missing a hook shot. Still missing ether. Eastern big. I mean, we're hour 33 in, and was that go minus what, 4? Oh, there is the swamp small. Of course, that doesn't give us all swamp because we still don't have a hook shot. Oh, there's the hook shot! Oh my god, laser bridge. Wow. Okay, I guess we're full clearing swamp.
Yep, that seems to be the plan.
Looks like Yoshi has other plans. Oh, he's gonna do hookshot K first. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep, and I think it is exactly 3 items now, those 2 big keys and the ether medallion for entry into Misery Mire. Oh no. That does not rule out progression in GT. Could
It
be
does
any
not.
of those 3 items.
Alright, we're gonna full clear swamp in hopes to stay out of GT. It's 6. It's what is it? 10 items in Key Sandy? I guess -1 for the compass, so like 9.
Yes.
We've already checked 1, so 8. Another Ganon's Tower small key. Yeah, let's just put that even more in logic when the time comes. Okay, is that all 4 Ganon's Tower small keys? I think that is. Yeah, it is all 4
Yep.
Ganon's Tower small keys. My god. The game is just screaming that there's something there.
And I mean, to be fair, the way the seed has gone, it's taken a lot of the decision out of the Ganon's Tower dip because our runners have checked literally everything
Yeah.
else at this point. So
There's not going to be much left when they get to it.
But yeah, to answer the chat questions, we have not ruled out needing Trinax. We have not ruled out needing PED at this point.
No, any of those items could be on PED. Now, I wouldn't even consider if I get a 4th Turtle Rock small and a Tower Hair big, then I start looking at PED to see if that's the thing that I need to do. As long as those 2 things don't show up, I don't worry about it.
The other question that's running through my mind right now is there anything that Yoshi could find that would make him skip left side swamp, or are we 100% full clearing this no matter what?
I think I in general don't like the left side swamp play first normally, but in Key Sandy when we have we're still go -3 here, I would probably just do left side first.
Yeah, especially with we do have vanilla compasses, vanilla-ish compasses, but there's always at least 1 item on the left side in these settings, so.
And Teto gets that Turtle Rock small key, and I don't think he's got anything to do other than go back into Turtle Rock. So I'm guessing we're going to see another trip up the mountain, and it's where he needs to go, so hopefully it is what he does.
It's been a very back and forth race. Teto finding those boots first, which were sort of the first really key item, and the first thing that our runners found after they sort of started going different directions, finishing off their one-off checks. But that decision to open the lava chest instead of laser bridge has really hurt Teto at this point.
Yep, because I don't think he might not even check the big chest in pod if he had gotten down to laser bridge and gotten the swamp small and the hook shot. He might have already just gone and done Swamp Palace before he even did pod. In fact, he didn't have the big key, so probably does. So that's 6 Turtle Rock trips between the 2 of them so far. And I say so far because, as we said, these 3 items can be anywhere, except obviously the Mire Big and the Ether can't be in Mire, and the Eastern Big, we've already cleared the parts of Eastern. Now, Eastern Big can be anywhere, but in the 2 chests that we have left there. Yeah, we do see the diver down strats here from Yoshi, so no surprise.
Yoshi also newly equipped with that Hera Big Key out of the Swamp Big Chest.
Well, there
So
you go.
That's,
so Swamp Big was required.
yeah, 4 more items in Logic. Counting the green pendant turn in.
Oh yeah, so the Hera Big... so yeah, you're right. More items in Logic. I'm getting my Heras and my Myers mixed up. We don't want to see the Hera Big Key. We want to see the Myra Big Key. Oh, and there's that darn compass. So the left side has nothing for us. So if Teto were to manage to skip that, he would save a little bit of time, but I can't see skipping it in this setting.
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what the runner's mentality is at this point, right? Because they probably are both inclined to feel behind, but also they probably both think that their opponent should be finishing already. So, it's sometimes hard to predict if your opponent got trolled as badly by the seed as you did.
Well, to be fair, they knew where the boosts were. I mean, I keep going back to this. I don't blame them for waiting a little bit, but I just feel like they waited too long. I'm trying to get that castle tower key before heading in and checking out the where they knew the boots were. And I bet they both think the other did not do that.
Yeah, I think there's a point, though, where you start to come back around, right? So like half an hour ago, when you found the boots, you were like, oh man, I bet my opponent's had these for 20 minutes now, and I'm so far behind.
Yep.
But when they haven't finished at this point, you start to think, maybe they did the same thing I did.
Okay, we're gonna be done. Yoshi gonna be done with Swamp in just a second. We'll see what his next move is. We still can't get into GT though, so something like one of these things has got to show up at some point.
Pretty good start to that Argus fight. Got all but 3 puffs on the zero cycle track.
And we get a Bombos. We don't need Bombos. We need Ether. I guess we go to Hera. Like, is that all he has right now?
Yep, because Turtle Rock just opened up Swamp, and all Swamp gave us was more Hera access.
God. We just gotta keep following those breadcrumbs, I guess. Meanwhile, Teto entering Swamp Palace.
But we can see now all of that back and forth extra dips of Pod and Turtle Rock. Yoshi is pretty much an entire Swamp Palace full clear ahead of Teto. Plus some little stuff like Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, and one of Yoshi's TR dips was much shorter because he did that first dip where you just check the one chest is always accessible with the cane. And like you said, the extra pod dip was just very costly for Teto. Now it's possible, yeah. I mean, the answer's got to be here. I suppose it's there. It is possible that Yoshi goes back into pod for that harmless hellway, but I don't see it happening. And we are going to see a Hera pot.
Anything? No, I am good. Thank you. No jumps. No jumps.
Okay, let's see what Hera has for us. Bombs. That's not a good start. Hey, big key too. Eastern, yay! Progression. I think at this point you still gotta just kill Moldor.
Yeah, I agree with Yoshi's decision here. It's basically 2 items right on your path because you're on your way back to Eastern already for that green pendant turn in. But even this is going to feel a little bit bad because this means Yoshi could have just come back and Hera-potted as soon as he found the hook shot and skipped all of that swamp full clearing. But That would be a very Galaxy Brain play to make, I think.
And yeah, because we wouldn't know, because you might still get drawn back up here with that the Hera big key, and so you might not save time that way.
Yeah, and you have no reason to believe that any of this Hera stuff should be in logic at that point.
Exactly.
So.
That's the kind of thing that you like to see. If you get a spoiler log, when you see those kind of things, you route those things in. So we're down to a Meyer big key and an Ether. And if we get Ether, the Meyer big key could be in Meyer. Or we could have, now we're going to have access to GT. It's with 6 crystals. 27 locations in GT. They're all available. Because we have all 4 Ganon's Tower small keys. We have the big key. Wow. And reminder that this is a fast Ganon, so we didn't want to go into GT.
This is, slightly curious play from Yoshi to go ahead and head back in for Harmless Hellway right away. I would definitely have mirrored to Eastern and finished that off first, because you're going to have to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you. So you give some of that time back to Teto.
There is some question in chat about whether Teto actually did that swamp big chest or not. I admit I was paying attention to Tower of Hera mostly at that point.
Yeah, so was I.
He might be thinking that he was going to come back in for left side anyway, and is going to do it on the way. But if you're going to plan on doing left side, you should do it first, because the whole, key...
If it's one item... If it's one item, I agree with going to the back first and hoping never to go to left side. It's 3 items. He had his menu up, but I tried to look to see if he had the Hera big key, and I didn't quite see it. But he must. He's heading over there now.
As we've talked about, right, he can do this without the big key with the Hera pot.
Yes.
But he's definitely playing on the edge a little bit at this point.
So where is he going? Did he check Hookshot Cave?
He did not do Hookshot Cave.
You can do that first.
TR, yeah.
Okay, new check. Eastern big chest. It's the compass. Those dark compasses.
So even if there is nothing on Armos, Yoshi will have all of Ganon's Tower staring at him at this point.
Yep. Which part do you do first? I guess you do basement, that's kind of obvious, but still, you could end up having to climb up there. The only thing you don't have to do... A small key to Skullwoods. Okay, Did he turn in the green pendant yet? I guess he's got to do that first, and then he'll head over.
Yeah, he has not done green pendant yet. Oh, yes. Good point from chat as well. This does open up Pyramid Fairy as well, which we talked about forever ago. And then it just took us another hour to find the Eastern Big Key.
Yep. I think you do Pyramid Fairy first, in hopes to find something to keep you out of GT. Yeah, I'm not surprised that the green pendant didn't have anything, but like we said, you don't want to have to go back up there and be like, okay, I've got 27 items in GT that'll take forever, but didn't do the green pendant. Yeah, he's gonna do Pyramid Fairy. The odds of this being both our items are pretty slim. The odds of this being one of our items, yeah, I could see it being one of them.
Also, I forget, did Yoshi ever go back into Aga Tower after finding that small key?
I don't believe so. He doesn't have a red boomerang on the tracker, so.
Yeah, so he will probably be doing that as well while he's in the vicinity.
Yeah, that's pretty efficient routing, though. I could see doing that. Unfortunately, not going to work out for him. And remember back when we talked about Ganon's Tower being fast Ganon and you know the number 6? Like, you want it to be 7 because then you don't have to worry about it, or a really low number because then you just have a whole bunch of items that you can look for all at once early on. But 6 was just really bad. And it looks like that 6 is going to come to fruition. We are going to see at least 1, if not 2, unless we get the rare double progression in Pyramid Fairy here. And we're 0 for 2. Oh my god. And this check for Yoshi into to get that last Castle Tower chest is going to buy some time for Teto. I do think Yoshi's going to still get into Ganon's Tower first by a bit. But then, you know, which way do you go? And we're not going to get to play a Ganon's Tower big key guessing game, but you might as well start guessing where these items are going to be in Ganon's Tower itself.
Yeah, if anybody wants to do an unofficial Misery Mire big key guess, feel free. We've got Ether as well floating around.
I figure Ether has to be up there. The Misery Mire big key could still be in Misery Mire. Like, you really hope you find the Misery Mire big key in GT first and then Ether. Because otherwise, it's like, if you get the Ether, do you bail and go to Mire, or do you keep going? It's such a hard decision.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like even if I find Ether first, I'm clearing the whole basement until I'm in go mode. If I had Ether, I would not do the climb, but
That's reasonable.
again, it's so hard to say. Yeah, I think the real nightmare scenario is you full clear GT to find the 4th Turtle Rock small key in the Moldorm chest, and somehow Ed has your go mode.
Yeah, there you go. Or even just Trinex, because at this point, Trinex is the same thing as Ped. There's a little less travel time. Teto finishing up Eastern. And I'm not sure he's got any other checks left at this point, so I'm probably going to head over to GT.
Yeah, he's also got Pyramid Fairy that he might do.
Oh, yeah. Okay, nice fast Ganon seed.
Real heavy air quotes on the word fast there.
Yep. Looks like Yoshi's just going to go ahead and go to the right. We'll see if he'll check Tile Room. Nope, not going to check it yet.
So yeah, Teto is headed toward the Pyramid Fairy as well. Accidentally misfluted to 5 first.
And there's that compass. Hey, look, Ether. Of course it's Ether first. Wow. Let's see what Yoshi decides to do here.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to keep going. Okay. Oh, Teto going back in. Oh, he's going back in for the stuff in Swamp. So he's going to put himself back further behind again.
Yeah, this might be the type of play you make when you think you are way behind, and you're betting on a long shot.
Yeah.
Hard to say. Butter sword for Yoshi.
Yep, there's a nice gold sword. Yeah. So if it turns out that Meyer Big Key is in Meyer, the one way that Teto can still get back into this is if he grabs that ether and goes, and that's a very gambly play, and it would be the wrong play because there's that Misery Meyer Big Key, and at hour 54 and change, Yoshi is finally in go mode here.
And with a full go mode Misery Mire, this will be a pretty quick finish for Yoshi at this point.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very fast. Because, again, with fast Ganon, we don't need to go back into Ganon's tower. I guess on the one plus side is with that Hera Big Key being right there. It's right by GT anyway. But a little unfortunate that Teto didn't double down on these skips. I mean, I said it way back when it was 6 crystals and we kept getting all those Ganon's Tower small keys. It just felt like there might be something in there. You just had to get to the point where you could go in.
Yeah, and this seed, you just sort of feel like that you've been getting randoed the entire time with things being in just the wrong spot.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it just becomes really hard to make kind of clear decisions because you get feelings and, you think, oh, maybe this is going to happen or maybe I should skip this. And yeah, you just sort of get frustrated, an hour and 45 minutes in. You're like, why is the seed not over yet?
So the question chat about the Meyer Big Key, I don't think it was behind all 4 of the GT small keys, which is fortunate, but it just felt like you had everything you needed to get into Meyer. It just felt like it was going to be a thing.
With access to the Big Key, I believe that Firebar room actually is behind all 4. Because once again,
behind all 4?
Yeah, you could use keys everywhere else and have that be the
yeah, you're right. You're right. I think you're absolutely right. Okay, this will be a very quick viddy fight with those silver arrows. Just don't get hit by the eyeballs, please. There we go. Fortunately, we have 15 hearts in red mail, so...
And there's crystal number 7 for Yoshi, and just the Butter Sword Silver's Ganon fight left. I think he'll be okay with that one.
Yeah, I think so. And 15 hearts red mail, I mean. And 5 is supposed to be the fastest way to get there. The fastest way to get there, of course, is if you've already killed Aga. You just save and quit right to the top of the pyramid. But we didn't kill Aga. It's the only thing we didn't do. Actually, that's not true. We also didn't kill Trinex, but... No, Tito's checking Ped. We get to find out what's on Ped. It's a bug net. And there Yoshi dives down the hole.
Maybe not the cleanest dash strats there from Yoshi, but Butter Sword gives you a lot of leeway.
Yep. Yeah, with this loadout, it just you can be a little less careful. And that's it for Ganon.
Very nice triple to finish off that fight from Yoshi, as Teto is just going into Ganon's tower to get his Misery Mire starter pack. And GG's.
Yeah, get your GG's in for Yoshi, finishing up under 2 hours, which honestly, the way he routed this is pretty impressive. 159.44.
As we see Teto getting the bad news there.
Yeah, Teto does decide not going to finish this out. I don't blame him. He's got an entire Ganon's tower to search for 2 items. Not sure if we're going to get interviews. I know these guys are also this is also on the German restream, so they might be heading over there first.
While we have a second here, though, this is a good time to thank our tracker, MM2 Nest cartridge. Thank you very much for
following what was going on.
Keeping track of everything for us today. Also, yeah, there's a lot to keep track of in this race. Also, be sure to head over to our runners' channels and give them a follow. I'm sure they would appreciate that.
Also, I can run down the schedule for the rest of the day. There's a lot going on today, as we do. I think a lot of people trying to get their matches in before Thanksgiving. Right now on SpeedGaming, we have it had started at about an hour ago. They vetoed our acronym versus Old Swagger Jackson, Gem versus Walter. At 6:10, we have 3 matches. We have Pug Trio versus Error, Weighty Words versus Big Dunka, Opt Got Good versus the Sexy Ganons, Wall Kicks versus Freddy. Did You Check Your Boot versus Shack Tool's Digging Game, Tam versus Aussie. At 7:10, we have I Like Big Boots versus The Spoilers. That's 2 15-point teams, so that should be a really good one. Relkin versus Zelgadison. At 8:10, we have 2 more matches. We Are the Imposters versus Komodo Hypers, Waterloo versus Chex Human, and Tile Roomies versus Wu-Tang Clan, Artie Walsh versus Emo Saru. And at 9:30, we have Team Kappa versus the Immortals, 1UP versus Duke Firebird. And let's see. Looks like we have Teto joining us. So, yeah, nice fast Ganon, huh?
Yeah, oh, fast Ganon, 07 crystals. Oh, yeah, with this combination, everything went downhill after that somehow. I don't know how it does. I mean, I hope for the Craig medallion and try to make it worth, but I never got those small keys well behind those boots, and those were nearly last located, and yeah.
Yeah, so you both triple dipped Turtle Rock. Your triple dip was a little bit worse. The big thing that we were wondering, so you got that hint at the very beginning telling you the boots were going to be in Castle Tower, and you guys just refused to go in there. I mean, I assume you just you were hoping to get that first Castle Tower key, so you guaranteed to get them. Just in case they were.
Hint, I just overread it somehow. Oh no.
I wondered. Oh no.
That explains a lot now.
Because we're just neither one of you would go in there, and we're like, but the boots are in Castle Tower. 50% chance they're going to be in that first chest.
Oh, that's harsh. Yeah, I don't know. I thought there was like those I'm going to the castle now Uncle text or so. I don't know. I just overread it. It was new. I didn't thought about it. Yeah.
You did wind up getting your boots first, actually.
Yes, you did.
Since you wound up there before Yoshi did.
Oh, it doesn't felt. It felt so double dipping everything, and after those the small keys for Turtle Walk, and I think after burning this Turtle Walk small key for the lava chest, totally automatically I thought like, oh, why did I even go to this chest? Oh, let's pray nothing on Laser Bridge now. Don't
and of course
anything.
you had your swamp starter package on laser.
Oh. Yeah, and with the swamp play, I just forget the big chase, but I even was like, before I forget the hookshot cave, well, I forget everything now, let's go back there, maybe do the Hera port for, I don't know what there might be, and with the Eastern Big Key, I was like, oh, maybe there is somehow the Maya axis in swamp, and so this Hera Big Key could be in GTs. Let's try this, but after doing this, I was like, yeah, okay. I think Yoshi might be way ahead now, and there's no chance I catch up here. And I think I bet there might be both in GT somehow, the medallion and the Big Key.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, we were sort of discussing this whole time that it kind of felt like one of those seeds where both runners felt behind from about 20 minutes in.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think it was like 40 minutes, not 20. That much.
That's fair.
It was
Well,
okay-ish. Yeah.
I'll say it didn't start out that bad, but yeah, just after a while, it just felt like the seed just kept giving you these little breadcrumbs that just led you in a wild goose chase across the map.
Yeah, that's always the horrible seeds where you just get one more for one more check and one more, and
Yep.
I was nearly twice or third time I was like, oh, did I mistrack something? This is my last location in Spy Cave. Oh god. Oh, there's the Big Key, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, all right,
Mhm.
let's go. And yeah, this happens.
Yeah, that spike check was a bit unfortunate because you had just checked the rest of pod.
Yeah, as I said, after 1 hour, like about this time, it was like, oh no, it's gonna be horribly wrong. Everything I do, it's just the wrong one, and you get the item after this. And yeah, that's Rando. That happens.
Yeah, it does. And Mystery, definitely so far living up to the hype. We've seen some really interesting seeds so far. With
Yeah, my
unfortunately for
absolute
this one,
favorite
I think it was more fun for people to watch it than you all to play it.
I mean, it was nearly like the training seed I did in the last days. All these inverted cross keys, Randomizer, swordless, all dungeon things also. So this was okay, but yeah, this is like your key sanity next week, and it can go horribly wrong if the keys aren't on your way.
Yeah, this was actually a pretty good warm-up for AD keys, since you spent a decent amount of time in every single dungeon in the game.
Yeah, you hit them all. The only thing we didn't kill a few bosses, but we definitely got to all the dungeons.
Yeah, maybe go back to Twinex or so. Yeah. Nah, it was a nice try against Yoshi. I mean, I played him 2 years ago where we started playing Rando, so we are like buddies in the community and know each other very well. So I was like, yeah, I played Schulza last times, and this time, Yoshi, do you have some free time? Okay, let's do this week. And yeah, it is always nice playing Yoshi. Sometimes I still get a win in our community races, but in this time on the stage, it wasn't enough.
Yeah, but to be fair, you showed off very well. The outcome was pretty much in doubt until I would say the last 10-20 minutes. So we weren't sure who was in the lead for most of the race. So.
Yeah. I bet it was nice to watch at least. Also that's the important thing. I mean, our major mistakes team are now hoping somewhat that Team Hime, also with only 1 win, are doing the same and don't win anymore. So we play them in week 7, and this is gonna be a deciding week, at least for both of us teams for the regulation.
Well, hopefully you get some wins before that, and I'll be fair to them. Hopefully they get a few wins before that too. We don't like to see everybody do at least a little bit well. So
yeah, that happens. It's a strong league. It's a strong division. The Invitational league. It is pretty stacked. All teams are so strong. So like we just score 3 points, and everything else is just now a bonus, and we will see.
Yeah, absolutely. So are we? Let's see. What other modes are you running the rest of the way? We don't have very many weeks left. I guess we have the all dungeons and the co-op Randomizer. You doing either one of those?
Yeah, the last week I bet I'm doing at least one or both games. Still Cuddlebutt and Alex Hex, I think, both need one more game. So we're deciding this in the rest of the week, how we're gonna split up at least next week. Maybe the stronger pair out of the stronger players are gonna play next week. Maybe another victory somewhere. Let's watch a bit about Team Hime, what they are doing, and yeah, it's all strategic here. We think on the table a lot of times.
Either one of those one mode you're looking forward to?
Oh, I like the Randomizer part.
Nice.
Maybe not the co-op part, because I hate doing stupid things and getting the loss for our teams because I failed somewhere. If I play solo, I know, oh, I skipped anything. Well, that's my decision and my fault if I lose. But in those co-op weeks, you gotta play co-op.
Yeah.
You win together or you lose together. That's even more critical.
Yeah, there you go. So I guess you probably have to go on to the German restream for an interview as well. But,
yeah.
Anything else you want to add before you head over there?
Oh, thanks for the commentary, both of you, and of course for the tracking. And always great to be here, and we will see or hear each other in the next 2 weeks, at least once or twice. So thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, Teto.
Yeah, GG's.
And have a great evening. See ya.
Yeah, you too. Okay, I don't know if we're gonna get Yoshi. I don't know if he does English interviews or not. So I guess we'll hang out just for another sec. I could read the schedule again, I guess.
Yeah, we can also talk about the what's left in the league. So yeah, Triple Dino Disaster with the win today is going to go to 18 points, but they are finished with their Mystery Week races. They're sitting at 15 points. 15 points. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the website after it had already updated. I'm forgetting about the 10-minute delay. So yeah, they're sitting at 15 points at 5-4 with still one more race to go this week. No one else at the top of this division has really played yet this week. So definitely,
this is only the second match of the week. So and like with one going on right now.
Yeah, that division is pretty wide open with all of those teams who were sitting at 12 points at the start of this match.
But yeah, at the very least, though, you can head over to SpeedGaming and catch the end of Gem versus Walter, the Vito acronym versus Old Swaggy Jackson. I'm going to assume that's still going. Can't ever say for sure. These mystery seeds can be really short Triforce hunts, all the way to really long cross keys with inverted and all sorts of weird stuff going on. So you never really know. But yeah, I guess that'll do it for us. Again, thank you to our runners, Yoshi and Teto. GG's to both of them on what was a really tough long seed. I would have loved to have asked Yoshi if he also missed the boots hint. But also thank you to Cool Papa Bell for joining me. That was always fun. So that was very, very nice. Very good.
Absolutely, always a pleasure.
And of course, our tracker MM2 Nest cartridge doing a great job behind the scenes, clicking those buttons into everybody at SpeedGaming, everybody running the league. Absolute thank you to all of them.
And of course, thank you to everybody out there for watching. Glad you could join us today, and hopefully we'll see you here next time.